rollerblading while it's not too hot. Playing some WarCraft today, and then going to the gym later for the biceps, back, abs day. So I plan on maybe putting up the weight for the pullbacks and pull downs. And what else? Chin-ups. What else? And bicep curls. We can try to do a bit more weight if we can. Yeah, and when I play Warcraft, I'm gonna plan on like rushing instantly at my opponent, even though maybe it's not ideal, especially in Undead versus Undead, to go Death Knight Ghouls, rush into his base, see what happens. But the good thing about rushing is you don't have to commit completely. If they start defending, then you can do something else. But if they don't defend sufficiently, then you can cause some damage and get an early advantage. But I think early rush, like after creeping a green camp, getting the Halls of the Dead upgrade, and then rushing, so at least you have your tech going while you're rushing. I think that's a good idea, especially versus Night Elf, because Night Elves love to get like Demon Hunter archers or Keeper of the Grove archers, Warden archers. They rarely go Huntresses, and even if they do go Huntresses right off the bat, then maybe they only have a few Huntresses, and I can switch to Fiends if they go Huntresses. But I might think of, I want to go Gargoyles against Huntresses and Dryads, but maybe Fiends are better for one base. If I had two bases, then I can go Gargoyles tier 2, I think, because then I would be able to mass produce the Gargoyles from 2 crypts. So if I happen to get an expansion tier 2, then maybe I can go Gargoyles, but I rarely go Gargoyles anymore. Even though Gulgargs can be very effective. What else? I don't know. I think I just found out something pretty retarded about the game, like, because certain strategies in the beginning can be game ending in the beginning, so they don't really leave room for longer games. Like, they just end the game instantly, either win or lose, some of them. But if you were wanting to go all in, you would most likely want to do like a Crypt Lord Beetle Ghoul rush, sell the TP, sell the Tome of Relics, sell the altar, get Rod of Necromancy, sell the Tomb of Relics, sell the altar, go for the rush, or get 2 crypts even, mass produce ghouls, and don't let your Crypt Lord die. That would be an effective all-in, especially in Undead versus Undead. It's quite powerful. But I'm not really doing an all-in for this rush. Like, I am taking a tier 2 at the same time, so it's not completely all-in. If it fails, then there are still options that I can do. So that's my game plan right now. Even if it is Undead versus Undead, I'm still going to rush in like with a level 2 Death Knight and my ghouls after upgrading the Halls of the Dead. Just rushing into his base, see how much damage I can do, even if it's Undead versus Undead, even if he has a Dreadlord, Crypt Lord, Lich, which seem to be better head-on against the Death Knight, mostly, because with Crypt Lord they have beetles, With Lich, they have Frost Nova, can attack your ghouls. With Dreadlord, they have Sleep, which can sleep your Death Knight while they're attacking your ghouls, so you can't coil while you're asleep. I don't know, and they can surround your hero, kill your hero, or force you to TP. Either way, it seems very risky to early ghoul rush with Death Knight in an Undead versus Undead. Normally, I think I would wait till my Death Knight was level 3 so I can have level 2 Unholy Aura. This is what I used to do, so I can rush in and try to kill the Haunted Gold Mine. So I would creep until level 3 for my Death Knight to do that. But now I just want to rush even earlier because I think that would be better. But I'm not too sure about it. Yeah, so I'm just trying out some things. But I mean, the early ghoul rush worked out nicely against the Night Elf player I played against. But I think typically it would work better against Night Elf players than other races. Like Orc have burrows, humans have militia to defend, Undead has the Rubian Towers, and basically Night Elf has Moonwells and Hide, but against Night Elf you would get the Dust of Appearance for the rush so that they can't hide. I mean, if they do hide, then you can kill them with the Dust of Appearance that reveals the hidden units. Just maybe you'd like to think, you know, this game is fun to play sometimes, because yeah, but maybe we kind of hit a brick wall with this game and we realize it's sort of, you have to make decisions that can be costly in the game, that can either win or lose sometimes. And maybe that's a tedious aspect of the game, because basically going semi all in with a ghoul rush, which I'm trying to do, it might not work sometimes, and it might give myself a disadvantage, might give my opponent an advantage. So that wouldn't be good. And if I hit a brick wall, if it's like kind of like it works against some opponents but doesn't work against others, then that's kind of frustrating. Because another thing maybe is that you have to know your opponent, or like what your opponent's going to do in the early game to see if it would be a viable strategy. That would be another option. Like if you can find out, actually I don't know if you can find out their build orders. In StarCraft II you can find out the build orders from the games, like they're all posted from the games they've played, so you can always check out their profiles, see what their build orders are. Well, you can't really do that mid-game though. Like you can't check for build orders mid-game. You have to know that opponent. I don't know. So it becomes a bit like rock, paper, scissors. Maybe that's what's frustrating, is that the strategies you perform in the early game in Warcraft, they have consequences. Well, in the same way as StarCraft II. They can be either positive and you are tended to win the game more, or they can be slightly negative where the rush didn't work at all, they defended and you had to go and creep and expand or attack, and your opponent has a slight advantage over you because he was able to creep more or something. So there is always like a frustrating thing about this game. I don't really know how else to explain it, but I just do what I can, right? From having played so many games. You know, another thing, I think my buildings in the early game should be improved, but I do what I think, and I try not to build my Tomb of Relics too far out so that I can be attacked. Try to build it a little bit in, and to be defended by an Erubian tower so that it can't be killed. Just little things like that. Even in the last game, I noticed I built an additional ziggurat next to my gold mine, which I should have built my third ziggurat next to the crypt to defend that area. So just little things like that are a bit frustrating for me. Like, there's a bunch of mistakes that I make in the game, but I'm noticing them. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for listening.